Hey everybody, thank you for checking out ArcoPraxis. This is an app I've been trying to build for a long time now, and I'm finally able to get it going. Really excited about it and really excited to share with you all the features that it has. So let's get into it. All right, the app is specifically made, its main feature is to grab images of sheet music and then have this app play the song back to you. Sounds easy. It's actually not. I've spent months developing my own proprietary algorithm to find note heads, and it's going to be expanded into finding rhythm later. But right now, I'm just really happy with this app and finally got it on the App Store, so just excited. All right, so let's get to it. I'm a cello player, so this is going to be focused on cello. And I'm a beginner cello player, and a lot of the music that I find on YouTube is just playing too fast. And if you slow it down, then it gets all distorted. So this is where this app really was born from. So let's think about how you bring sheet music into the app. And to do that, we'll go to the library up here on the top left. Now, I already have a couple pieces. I deleted a whole bunch because I didn't want to clutter it for the demo. And there's a own demo here. You can load it. The first thing that you would see when you open the app is just you only have the option to load the demo, or I'm gonna add, this is what you'll probably see, is all these options to import scores and also load the demo. But I'm gonna delete this right now. I'm just gonna hide that. You can always bring it back later. So let's just play it. A couple things you notice right away. It didn't start at the beginning. It started like somewhere down the road, and I'm gonna show you why in a second. It also noticed that there's no rhythm. Like, it's just playing each note as if it was a quarter note. And that's partly on purpose, because when I'm practicing the cello, sometimes I just like to take the rhythm out of the equation and just focus on the notes themselves. To bring the rhythm back, you just tap on the rhythm button and you press play. And you notice in the top right-hand corner is a metronome going off, and I can speed up and slow down the play by, well, I can just use the slider here, so we'll speed it up and then press play. Or we can slow it way down. So if you just want to take it really slow and not have the music sound distorted, and you want to really practice on intonation, you can put the beats per minute to be a low number, take out the rhythm, and just focus on hand position and really dial that in. And then you can bring the rhythm back, you can accelerate the tempo, and all kinds of stuff. It took me forever to be able to do that. That was crazy hard, but it works now. But not only that, you can click on down here, the select button, select a passage on the score. I'm gonna click on that, and then say I wanna practice that measure. I'm gonna tap that measure, and now maybe I wanna repeat it 5 times. Now I'm just gonna press play. And when it gets to this last one, it's going to repeat. And it's just going to only do that measure over and over and over again until you've really mastered it. And the repeats here help you stay on track. It's easy, I know, to say, oh, I've done it twice, it's solid now. No, make sure you get all 5 of them in. That's why I put the reps there. But maybe you want to do a longer section, a longer passage. Well, I just deleted that one. I'm gonna press select again, but now I'm gonna use my pencil here, and I'm going to drag a larger selection. Or maybe it's just this rounding the corner here, Maybe I have a hard time rounding the corner. And now I'm just gonna press play. Let's speed this up. And it's just gonna keep looping again. So we are good. And if you wanna know how many loops you've done per measure, you just click on the stats button and it'll show you how many loops you're doing per session and per lifetime. That's S and L. And you can reset these if you want. All right, so the metronome is something you could just turn on if you wanted to. Just have it play in the background while you're playing the cello. You can also turn on the tuner. Oops, that's the A. You can turn on the tuner while you're playing. So you have a built-in tuner that is very responsive to whatever note that you're playing. It's on the orders of milliseconds before it locks onto the note. I would not recommend having the music play while you're trying to learn, have the tuner on while the music's playing, because they're going to override each other and it's just going to be messy. But say I'm a part of the passage. I'm going to do two-finger zoom here, and I'm like, you know what? I really need to make a note somewhere. I need to note that this is what clef am I in? Bass clef. Okay. I need to make a note that this is an A, and this is a B, and this is a C. Fine. We can change the color. Just long press on color, and I'm going to say, just practice this part as much as you want here. And I have this built-in layer that you can make edits, and you can also delete stuff as well. Teacher said I stink here. All right. And you can hide those notes just pressing the little eyeball button on the top here. You don't have to have them on all the time if they're in the way. And you can make all kinds of whatever marks that you want. Okay, I think that's good for this area. Now, you notice at the beginning I didn't have any notes to start with. In fact, I also use this scrubber here to scrub anywhere on the piece. And you notice I didn't have any to begin with because I deleted them on purpose so I can show you how to add them in. So we need to add in those notes. So I'm gonna swipe from left to right to open this up. I'm gonna hit edit. And now you can see I'm in the note heads tab already on the top, and you notice that this first section doesn't have any notes on it. So we need to add some notes. So I'm gonna two-finger zoom, and I'm just tapping with my pencil the notes. Boom, 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 boom. And you notice when I tapped on that F, it automatically made it sharp. That's because I told it what key signature that we're in. We're in E minor, and so there's only the F sharp, or G major. There's only the F sharp. So when I get to an F sharp, boom, it makes it sharp. Super sweet. Okay, so I've just quickly added the notes. And it doesn't matter if you're like in the center of the note or not. The computer is not going to know the difference between the space between the left and right of the note head. It gets the timing from the rhythm section of it. So now I'm gonna go to the rhythm section and make sure that these are all in the right rhythm, and they're not. The first one is definitely a quarter note. The next one is a dotted quarter. So I'm gonna select it, and I'm gonna make it a dot. Boom, dotted quarter. Next one is not a quarter, it is an eighth note. So I'm gonna select that. I'm gonna deselect the dotted quarter and make it an eighth note. The next one's a quarter note, that's fine. And then I just have a bunch of eighth notes. So now I'm already have the eighth note selection. I could just start tapping on eighth notes. Boom, 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 boom. That's a quarter, this is an eighth. That is a dotted quarter that I missed. So I'm gonna select it and dotted quarter. Done. Super easy. I'm gonna add some stuff here that isn't on this. Oh, actually, look at that. There's no measures on this first staff. We have to add the measures. So I'm gonna go to the measure tab, and I'm gonna tap on each vertical line to make the measures. The rhythm section, the accidentals, note heads, measures, rhythm. There's the key signature to show you that. You can select whatever key signature that you want, and it'll update the notes. If you don't know what key this is, don't worry. You should look over here on the left-hand side. We're in bass clef. Well, let's make sure we got the bass clef right. Okay, good. You click on the key signature, key definitions, and then we know we have just the 1 sharp. So you just go to the 1 sharp here, and you're going to be in either E minor or G major. Done. So some cheat sheets there that you don't want to tell your teacher about. Oh, there's the repeats. Okay, so now I'm going to add a repeat here and a repeat there. I just made it the 1 repeat button. I forgot I did that. Let's add a repeat here because for some reason, oops. Undo that. Add a bar line here because that's where the repeats get stuck to. Tap on the left side of the bar line and it repeats to the left. Cool. Okay, now let's play it. Now it's starting from the beginning. And let's turn off the metronome. Oh, I should just turn the sound off. Let's keep that visual. Then the repeat worked as expected. So I'm going to scrub a little bit further in the piece so we can get past this repeat. And let's take a look at the end. And it goes back to the repeat it's supposed to go to. So everything is kind of working. There's just a couple little minor bugs I'm working on. There's always going to be bugs, so let me know about them. But that's it for editing. And once you get good at this, the editing is not going to be that big of a deal. You're going to go through it pretty quickly. Let's add a score. So now I'm going to add one. And you see these are the options: scan, photo, PDF, or import ArcoPraxis, a collection from ArcoPraxis, which is my own format, and MusicXML format as well. That might look a little weird because MusicXML doesn't have necessarily spacings between the notes, so I have to kind of make that up on the fly in the app. But let's add a photo. This is a worst case scenario because it hasn't been distortion corrected. When you scan with the phone or you scan with iPod, you have an ability to like measure the corners of the, let's pick that one so you don't stare at my photo library all day. You have the ability to measure the corners of a page so it undistorts the page. Well, actually, this is not a photo, that's a scanned PDF. Where is it? Oh, here it is, the Sonata. Pick that one. Here you can see the stave lines, staffs are not straight. There's pencil marks everywhere. I already did a lot of optimization of the color, but we can take a look at the enhancement. Really, you want a black and white image, and you want things to have a pretty high contrast. So contrast, maybe I can decrease the brightness. So that's not too bad, but I liked it before. We could do auto. Again, it's auto correcting something else. A score, black and white. The black and white works pretty good. You just play around with these until you're happy. And I'm not actually happy with any of them because I already made too many changes. Oops, that was gross. Yeah, right there it looks pretty good. All the lines are nice. Okay, I'm gonna use that. Why not? Done. Excuse me. Now it's gonna detect the staff lines, and for some reason this piece wants the staff line up there. I don't like it. I don't think it's real. So I'm just gonna select it and then press the delete button on the top right. Now we have it. Now you notice that's the page has been deformed, and you notice I'm trying to 2-finger pinch and zoom in and out and it's not working. That's because when I was making this, every time I 2-finger pinch, there was always an accident and I would grab a staff and it would move up there. And it was just super frustrating because then, it does a pretty good job to begin with. and I don't want to mess with what it did. So now I'm gonna have to fix that one. So you press the zoom buttons on the bottom left, and then you use these buttons here to then adjust. And then you can grab these little circles that are on the staff, move them up and down. You notice this orange thing right here. This orange thing marks where the key signature and timing end and where the notes begin. So this really helps the program, find where the notes are. So you want to make sure you have that. And since I really screwed this first one up, I'm gonna have to make sure it's good. So just checking out all of them. This one can be bumped up a little bit. This is a critical step because this is where it's going to put the note heads. So when you're on the piece of paper score in the app and you tap on a note head and these staff lines are wrong, it's gonna give you the wrong note. Say you tapped on an E and it gave you an F. That's because we're not actually correcting the image, we're correcting the overlaying staff onto the image. So that's why like a PDF document is so much better, or a scanned document is better, because they are already perfectly straight. The image photos are the worst case scenario. There's always going to be bent pages and whatnot. Okay, that looks pretty good. Happy with it. The different colors are just for fun. They don't mean anything. Press done. Now you can see the magic happen, and it does a good job. This is my basically first version of the algorithm that I've developed, and it does a pretty good job of the notes. So it does detect flags and rests sometimes and beams, and I will be adjusting this in the future because I want to have automatic rhythm detection. But right now sometimes it gets fooled in thinking that a beam is a note, but we can easily delete that. So I'm just going to guess. Okay, I got nearly all of them. There's a few that weren't there. Swipe down. Okay, here's my recently imported one that I just did. Let's just edit the score. That was a long press, by the way. And now I'm just going to go through and delete. I'm just going to do this for the first line. Delete the notes that aren't real. They're all false positives. Now I'm going to go back and add the real notes, which we just missed. That one and this one. And it got the tenor clef right, which is great because it's supposed to be a D, and it is a D. Let's add a rest here and here. Let's go to signature, make sure we're good. E minor, again, just the one sharp. Timing, 4/4, we're good. Clef, tenor clef, great. Measures, so you need to add the measures. Here, here. So it is kind of problematic. It's a little bit of a bug that I'm gonna fix, but when there's like these notes on the shorter staff, I see that, notice the first staff is so much shorter than the rest of the staffs. I need to fix where that first measure goes. That'll be fixed quickly in update. I already know how to fix it, just haven't done it for the video yet. Any accidentals? So you notice that all the F sharps are already sharp. That's great because that's our F, that's what's sharped in this key. Add a D sharp. And here's this A sharp here. So there's two A sharps in this measure. There's this one and the one over there. So the app knows that any other A's within this measure are also going to be sharped, and it adds them all. And again, with that C. And we can go upper or lower. I like upper. There's some trills somewhere else in the piece, it doesn't matter. There's harmonics in this piece. So let's go to rhythm. Again, we do the rhythm the same way we did before. Make that a 8th note and then a bunch of 8th notes. And you can also click on the rests as well to make them 8th note rests. And again, I'm just tapping. So it's pretty easy. especially for beginner pieces or like this, where there's not a whole lot of really dynamic changes that are happening. I have the 16th here. Click on that and this, and that I missed a note there. I see that now, so I'm gonna add it. Go back to rhythm and make that a 16th note. Great. And that's mostly pretty good. And then we're done. Save it, play it. Great. That's all wonderful. And you can practice. You just go from there, and you can save this. You can export it to friends, have them import it into ArcoPro. Oh, I should show you how to do that. To export the file, we'll go to edit that particular one, and then the 3 dots on the top right give you export options. So you can export it as a MusicXML or export it as an ArcoPraxis score. The ArcoPraxis score stores everything. It saves even the notes that you're writing on. And if you didn't like the way staffs were written before, then you can adjust that and be done with it. I'm gonna undo that. I think that's mostly it. There's a lot of stuff planned in the future. There's scale practice that's planned in the future, shifting practice that's planned in the future, lessons on music theory is planned for the future, and also transcriptions as well. So if you had your favorite guitar piece that you liked, but you can't find the sheet music for it, there's going to be a built-in transcription feature into this app in the future. And so with that, thanks for watching.